to my parents' credit and with intent, they kept us fairly isolated from the very public life they lived. But my observations were that in success or in defeat, it never changed the way my father acted or treated people. He could feel disappointment, but he continued to carry himself in a way that I think showed a level of respect for the opportunities he had. Yes, there were times that I know it was hard and he was disappointed, but he still always felt a responsibility to acknowledge the fans and acknowledge all the people that had helped him achieve some of the goals that he did set. So yes, that was always a driving force for him, was having character and knowing what that meant. No matter how much success you had, you never forgot where you came from and how you got there.
Mr. Palmer is a legend, and not only for his golf, but for his character. And I think for us to have a chance to work with someone who is an exemplar of character and who embodies it, but also who has a legacy now through the foundation of extending character and service around the world, that's a great honor for us and a great way for us to actually recognize a Wake Forest alumnus, Mr. Palmer, but also to connect with the Wake Forest mission that does, I think, align with who the foundation is, who Mr. Palmer is, to be for humanity in ways that call us all to be better ourselves and better to others. So for me, it's a great gift to have a chance to work with this foundation. Growing up, I used to watch, videos of Mr. Palmer when I was playing golf. I had an Arnold Palmer starting lineup in my collection, and so I really admired his own sort of excellence, but also who he was as a person. His sort of kindness, his joy, I think that shows through his work and his life. And our hope is in this program to really embody that and to encourage other young golfers to also embody that spirit of character.
Competing is important and winning is important, but the character and the development of who these young people become is so important, and the opportunities that they're going to have throughout their success and through their careers to give back and make a positive impact on those around them and make a positive impact on the game of golf. Arnold Palmer was the epitome of that. He recognized that he had an opportunity through his success and his fame and his career on the PGA Tour to make a difference. And if these players can be inspired to do the same, that's what it's all about.
A lot of us are here, and a lot of the young golfers are here because we love golf, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. It can be it can be inspiring, it can be challenging, it can be hard, it can be humbling, and I think because of the high pressure moments it puts us into as golfers, there's an incredible opportunity to learn more about who we are. And if we can give young golfers the language of what character is, help them understand who they are through the lens of character, we can help them choose which virtues they want to focus on cultivating to enable them to be the best people on the golf course, but also off the golf course. So things like, the humility, not being afraid of mistakes, and how can you kind of bounce back from that, the resilience, the courage to try difficult things. So we can teach them all of that in golf because that's what they love, but it will be able to be translated outside of golf.
That's what life is all about, just kind of how you handle whatever comes next and what you do with it in that next step. So golf definitely helps with that. I think a lot of sports help with that, but kind of with golf being an individual sport, it's just you, the club, the ball, and kind of how you go about it. So I think that's also huge too, just you don't have anybody to bank off of, it's just kind of you, yourself, and what you do with it.
The life lessons you learn with golf are life lessons that you end up taking in through school and your personal life on a daily basis. So it's about honor, how to treat others with respect, how to handle difficult situations. So, golf is a sport of honor. You have to call penalties on yourself if nobody's watching. So that's the most important thing about an individual in golf, is how honorable are you when nobody's watching? And those kind of values that you carry on through the rest of your life are just so important forever. So it's the foundation for who you become.
For being an individual sport, there's so many social elements to it, right? You could be paired with individuals you never met before. You have to respect the rules of the game. You have to self-control, self-motivate. And those are the values you can apply in everyday life.
Golf, unlike other sports, doesn't have umpires or referees to call fouls or assess penalties. And so the rules are self-enforcing. And so you have to be honest with how you play. You're often challenged to sort of pick up after a bad shot or after a hazard. And so it teaches about resilience, about humility, your own weaknesses, knowing your own strengths and weaknesses and how you play your game. It teaches you courage to take difficult shots or try new things. It also teaches you courtesy and compassion. When I'm out on the golf course, you have to show respect to people who are different from you, who are your playing partners, your opponents. And I think that sort of courtesy and that sort of integrity are just vital parts of the game. And I think therefore vital parts of human life.
The game itself just starts with rules and penalties and scoring, and it has so many things that kids learn to do without anybody watching them except themselves. And so they get in the bunker and they're supposed to do a certain thing, and they have to learn how to do it properly. And so the rules of golf and really the etiquette of golf are character things that kids get embedded in their life at an early age by playing the game.
One of the most meaningful moments to me in my interaction with my own grandfather was when he talked to me about some of his hardest losses. He talked to me personally about his loss of a 7-shot lead at the U.S. Open at Olympic. And he talked to me about making double bogey on the 18th hole at Augusta to lose the Masters in 1961. And he talked about how he felt. And he talked about how out of control and uncomfortable and just the gut-wrenching feeling that he had from that. And it meant so much to me because it was relatable. And it's great to talk about your successes, but to be able to talk about your failures openly and honestly like he was doing with me was such a great experience, because it made him human, and it made me realize that no matter how successful anybody is out there, there's struggle along the way. And how you deal with that struggle is really what defines you.
My background was in exercise science, and I thought if we can cultivate systems to support people for physical growth, we must be able to do it for character. And there was certainly research out there already that showed that we can do it. So I developed an app-based program in my doctoral research that equipped athletes to not only strengthen their character, but we found that it elevated their well-being, their performance. And so this idea that they all work together, character and performance and well-being. And that's why actually the legacy that Mr. Palmer has is such an exciting legacy for us to carry out, because it shows that character and excellence can coexist together.